Hello, I am Gage Milton and I talk about Apple tech and smart home, and I just got myself the Aqara U200 lock. It was not sponsored in any way. I purchased this with my own money and an Amazon gift card that took off about $20 for my birthday. But anyway, I bought this with my own money, and so I have no obligation to say anything nice about this lock. So let's first go into why did I replace my Schlage Encode Plus. So I've had the Schlage Encode Plus for about 2 years now and absolutely love it. It runs on thread, it was super reliable, and it felt really good. The only problem is I've got a glass screen door, so the actual door with the lock on it that I would use home key or punch in the numbers was very indented into the walls because you had to open the screen door, then hold up my Apple Watch or my phone to it. And just with how everything was set, I had to really bend my wrist to get Apple Home Key working. And it was just easier to type in the PIN code. And then it's like, why do I have a smart lock with home key if I'm just gonna type in the PIN code? I love the Schlage Encode Plus, but for this specific example with my front door, I was getting a little tired of it. And I then saw the Aqara U200 come out, which had the external keypad, which had a fingerprint reader, which I've always really wanted, and that also has Apple Home Key and a keypad with the buttons on it. I was like, okay, I really want to try this out, and I bought it and I installed it. And the way how the U200 works is you use your same lock on the front end. So I had to find my old lock from when I first bought this house, stick that back on there, and then the U200 deadbolt attaches to the back. Everything was really easy to install. There was just a couple things where you had to get the batteries in, especially into the keypad. I had to look all over to try to figure that out. I even made a little YouTube short of how to do that just so to help other people. But you have to push the pin and pull down and lift it up just to get the batteries out and in. Besides that, very smooth. I was able to install it without any instructions, really. It was really simple. So that's the why did I switch. It's basically so I could stick that little key fob, the keypad, on the screen door. So as I'm opening the screen door, then it will already unlock my door, because as I hold on to it, I can put my thumb on the fingerprint sensor, which again, I haven't had a fingerprint sensor smart lock yet, and I really like it. Now, how is my experience from going from a Schlage Encode Plus to a U200 from Aqara? First off, connecting to it, super easy. It is Matter enabled. It also uses Thread. So the first thing I did was connect it to the Aqara app, and that allows you to do the passcodes and the setup, and there's all sorts of stuff that's in the Aqara app, and it's super easy. I like adding everything into Home Assistant and into Home Kit. I was gonna make a dedicated video of how to connect this to Home Assistant, but it's just so easy because it has Matter that you basically just go into your Home Assistant settings, say add new Matter device, put the Aqara lock into pairing mode, and it connected, and you can lock and unlock the lock. Super easy, and now it's in Home Assistant. But the best thing is adding it to Home Kit, Apple's smart home, again, was super easy. You will need a Apple TV with Thread or a newer HomePod as your border router so that it can connect. But I have plenty of HomePods and a couple of Apple TVs laying around, so no problem. It connected super easy, and it was almost too simple. I was kind of like, okay, what else something should be going wrong right now, because normally when I'm setting up smart tech, there's always something like it will fail to pair or something like that, or the batteries will drain really quickly as I'm testing it at the very beginning. But nope, the battery was still at 100%, and yeah, I really like it. Speaking of the batteries, the keypad uses, I believe, AAA batteries. I think 6 of them, 4 AAA batteries. So you'll have to replace those every once in a while. And the actual deadbolt itself has a rechargeable battery that recharges via USB Type-C. So, and you can pull it out. So no worries there. I don't know how long the batteries will last, but it's been going really well for me. Now that it's installed, how has it been? It's been really good, because I will now walk up to my front door And since the keypad is on the outside of the glass, I can just hold my watch right up to it and home key lets me in. Most of the time I will use my fingerprint because as I'm gripping the door handle, I can then touch the fingerprint sensor, it unlocks the door, and I can walk right in. It's super, super simple. I love it. And one of my favorite features about this lock is the self-lock feature without any sensors. So this isn't beta from Aqara, but you can have it when it senses the door closes, then lock the door after X amount of seconds. So again, this is beta, and it was working, I would say 95% of the time. There'd be a couple times where I opened the door and I guess it swung too much, swung. It opened in a kind of way maybe with too much force, and it would be like, oh, the door's closed, so it would lock it when it's in the open position. So an easy way to fix that is I've got a contact sensor on my door. So in Home Assistant, I just made an automation that said, when this door is closed for more than 2 seconds, lock the door. And that fixed all the problems. Again, the Aqara solution is really good. Like, for being a beta, it worked really, really well. But just to finalize it, because I already have the smart sensor and I have everything connected into Home Assistant, might as well make it more reliable, and I did. So again, I really, really like this lock. Next, we are going to be talking about the quality of the lock against the Schlage Encode Plus. So the Schlage, once it's installed, it felt premium. You lock it and unlock it with your hand, and it just was smooth, and the deadbolt would just kind of slide in and out, and it was really nice. I would say the U200 is it's cheaper, and you can kind of tell that it is. As you're trying to lock it, you feel some resistance, and it's not as fluid. It's not as smooth, doesn't feel as polished or oiled. But for the price and for all the other features that I get, it's not really that big of a deal. It's just since I went from a Schlage Encode Plus to the U200, that's kind of where you're like, okay, I'm used to this, and now it's kind of like this, and it's fine, but it's just, it'd be nice to see that these other locks and with the Aqara locks, that their premium can go up, but probably with that, the price would go up. Anyway, just saying, it did feel a little like a step down in quality, but it was a step up in features because I now have a fingerprint reader that's now on the outside of my glass door, so that's great. There was also a bug, I guess, a glitch, when I have the lock via automation. So the gears are in turn and it locks the door. Then when I tried to unlock it, it was still in that position where the gears are engaged. And so you're fighting against the gears as you're unlocking the door manually. I found a way around this. Basically, when it's in the locked position, you turn it ever so slightly more to the locked position, and then you can unlock it, and it's smooth and fluid. But it took me about a week to figure that out. So I was just like, I even calibrated it multiple times, and I was like, okay, it's not a deal breaker, but it made it uncomfortable trying to open it via my hand. I almost wanted like an automation, like an NFC tag, where if I walk up to it, scan my phone, then the door would unlock right before I get to it. I was thinking of all these automation ideas, and now that I don't need to because I figured out how to do it with my hand. So I'm glad about that. It was just, I guess, user error or somehow when it locks, and it might just be my lock in particular, but just saying that's what my lock did. And once I fixed that, it's been great. There are different noise levels to the Aqara lock. It can go really fast. It can lock super fast, but it's really, really, really loud.
Hey Siri, lock the front door.
So I have it on the silent mode, so it takes about, I don't know, a second or two to actually get into the locked position, but it's a lot quieter and not so scary, because my cats were pretty scared when my lock would suddenly just lock. Like, it would do it like very quick, very loud, and it just jump scares you. So here it's just kind of a low, slow closing motion of the deadbolt, super slow and very, very quiet.
Hey Siri, lock the front door.
I'm glad they give you that feature, and it's been great. So overall, the U200 from Aqara I would give it a 9 out of 10. If it just felt more premium, kind of like the Schlage Code Plus. And it's just really good. The fingerprint sensor is phenomenal. The keypad is great. Home key works great. The deadbolt is now pretty quiet. It works with the Matter, so it's in Home Assistant, it's in HomeKit. I got into and my Amazon Echo. It's great. I love it, and I would recommend it. And Aqara filled a gap that was there for me, a device with Thread and Matter and an external keypad with home key and a fingerprint reader and all the features that I want. So yeah, I would recommend it, and good job, Aqara. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. So if you're considering getting a U200, yeah, go for it. I'll actually have links in the description down below if you're interested, and it would help support the channel. But I'll see you in the next video.